When watching Chicago and Detroit, during the years that Glenn was the DC, this is 2022 Week 10, it becomes really obvious as to why Glenn wanted Fields in New York with the Jets. I don't think it's all about that. I think Glenn is hopping on the evolution bandwagon, as I wrote a couple weeks ago. We're still in the infancy in terms of the quarterback position, where the legs do serious damage and change defenses in such a hair-on-fire way. But specifically, I'm going through all these plays, Chicago, Detroit, and man, this week, Week 10, 2022, Fields just butchered Glenn's defense, and it's something to see, honestly. Like, there was not a lot of processing from Fields. The same pocket stuff that you see is still here against Glenn's defenses, but if Fields has an OC, and by the way, everyone says Fields' Chicago offense didn't suit him. I think initially as a rookie, it didn't, and that's not unusual for rookies. You need some time to get used to things. But eventually, they really tailored the offense around him. And I think Tanner Engstrand with the Jets is going to do a hell of a job with that as well. But here's the first play of the game and an example. Watch this first play here. Motion, number 19. He doesn't really wait a second, but oh, jeez. Zone read, no shot for the edge defender there, and that's a backbreaker. There's not much to this play to break down, but it's the first play of the game, which is why I think it's important. For everyone interested, there's going to be a much bigger breakdown on YouTube and on JetX when I go through 10, 12, 15 plays of Chicago, Detroit during the Aaron Glenn DC years in Detroit. And this is just the first. And I can't stress enough what a backbreaker this is on the first play of the game against the defense. Okay, motion coming across. This guy right here, he's the motion prompted for him to have the edge bump it down into more of a 4-eye look. I believe it's 4-eye. We'll see from the tight view. But yeah, he bumps down into more of a 4-eye. This is going to be the edge man, and you cannot mess around here. Not on the first play of the game, not when you're bumping down. You have to take Fields. You have to understand what you're dealing with Fields. He's such an athlete at the position. Okay, bumps it down. Instead of a 4-man front, it's an odd. And by the way, number 19, watch this. I don't know if he's set for a full second. I'm kind of getting off course here. I don't want to, but if I'm the coach of Fields here, okay. Set, one, yes. Technically, NFL provides leeway in this regard. We see it all the time, but technically, sort of a illegal procedure. You got to wait a second. Guys aren't set, and he's pretty close to the line of scrimmage too, cover and commit, but that's a different story for another day. So let's watch this. Goal, it's pretty easy. Zone read. The goal is to try to get the entire Detroit defense to flow east-west to our side. And Fields basically is going to be reading this naked edge. That's it. He's going to be one-on-one. If he crashes, he's going to keep it and attack him one-on-one. If he stays home and he feels good about the zone with Montgomery, he's going to hand it off and let him do his thing, picking the right cutback lane, wherever that may be, to get up and through Detroit's defense. I don't know what Glenn had on. Did he have a slant on? We'll see from the other view. There we go. First step, Detroit reacting. Square, staying square, staying square. The backside edge, this is the strong side here. So, I'm sorry, tackle, D-tackle, the weak side D-tackle right here. Kind of gets ahead of his skis a little bit. Stay square, kind of over pursues. So Montgomery could have had a decent, probably not. He would have been met by Anzalone. But regardless, the edge, Fields, read. Decision right now, he knows it's just one-on-one. And here's another key. Press at the line, So Fields knows this corner is going to be following, and he knows this receiver doesn't need to block per se. As long as he gets an outside release down the sideline, he turns the head of this corner. And if he turns the head of this corner and the second level is moving east-west to the strong side, Fields knows it's just one-on-one with this edge. And this edge stays flat. He stays on the line of scrimmage. When I'm coaching, I kind of want my guy a little deeper, 1 or 2 yards. Maybe the game plan was stay flatter just in case the sifter, the tight end who kicks back on those split zone play actions. You're trying to combat that. So I get it. But either way, whether you're flat to the line or you're 1 yard deep, you can't drift inside like this. And unfortunately, he drifts inside, and Fields, hey, the recognition that he knows it's one-on-one. He doesn't have to worry about the corner up top. See his head already turned. He's got a trail, and he's got to get there in a hurry because he doesn't know it's a run. It's an outside release. Great job with the receiver here. Single high. So he's got no deep help. It ensures the one-on-one on the edge. Gone. At this point, he's gone. He's just that fast. And by the way, that defensive lineman that bumped him down to play the edge is no slouch. He could move. Who the hell is that? Number 99. Regardless, so here's the look. Do they slant all to the left? No, not really. It's just a react. Maybe. I don't know. There could have been a strong slant on, but I don't see it. I just see more of a react. And they have to react down the line. See, this is, if he did hand it off, this is the weak side D tackle. Really got moved. You gotta stay square with that guy. Gotta stay square. It's almost like his great reaction hurt him. Fields, one-on-one with the edge, just no shot. No chance. And I can't stress to you what a backbreaker this is for a defense on the first play of the game. And Jets fans, this is going to be your offense in 2025. All right, another first down in the red zone at the 15-yard line. What do we have here, my people? 3-by-1 classic trips look with number 2 on the line of scrimmage. Gun, running back weak. Press. So Glenn is pressing the perimeter, the slot. Let's see what these safeties do. Again, 1st and 10. I believe this is still the first drive after a few plays after that opening zone read from Fields. So it's in Glenn's mind. Hey, let's stop this quarterback from running. But let's play it through. Motion. Okay, now motion here, folks. Defense, guess what they're yelling? Let's watch them all. Pass, 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 pass. I mean, you might be calling it out. You might be thinking it. Pass, 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 because there's no backs. It's going to be an empty set. Not necessarily against Fields or Lamar or a guy who could run, but that's the natural tendency. That's why this is done. This quick running back flat motion, and flat meaning parallel to the line of scrimmage, to the yard markers. That's the whole point of this motion, to force them into an empty, force the defense into an empty check, and worse yet, force the defense into an empty check. That's a 4-by-1. You'd have 4 guys on this side with one solo. So it's intended to create some chaos and trying to get the second level to do some over-analyzing, over-pursuing, overthinking in terms of checking on the fly. And it also doesn't give them much time to check on the fly. But let's start it, and I promise I'll play it through this time. All right. Motion, Detroit moves. Oh, QB draw. Who could have thought with Fields? And some people watching this say, oh, of course, they're not going to think pass with Fields back there. You got to keep run on the mind. I mean, yeah, more so than a pocket quarterback for sure. But still, if you design certain things this way and you expand upon it the right way, you take human elements and you use them to your advantage. And this is just one of many examples in football that do such a thing. So the motion forces this linebacker to have to widen. I would assume this free safety ranges a little bit to his left as well. Yep, he does. You have to do it just in case. I mean, if something's on where you're getting a double slant, quick stop, and a wheel from this running back, you have to react. You have to be ready for it. So get the defense flowing to its left, to the offense's right, and look to take advantage with Fields. Solid job carrying it out. Not terrible, not great, solid. He's antsy to run it, which it would be any quarterback in this situation. You want to get it and get going. The hardest part of coaching this is the acting, is the Academy Award, Golden Globe type stuff. That is what the details. And when we talk about what I think Glenn and Engstrand are going to try to do with the Jets offense and Fields, the devil lies in the details. So much more so than other schemes, like a Rodgers scheme or a Brady scheme. And I'm not saying details aren't important. In those schemes, they are. But you have so much less room for error in this type of offense that in which it's mandatory that rushing the ball has to happen for you to have success. The details are critical. So Fields carries it out, takes enough time. I would say yes. Offensive line, do they stand up? They stand up, yes. Let the edges go downhill. And at this point, the edges are starting to, they're starting to squeeze it a bit more. I'm sure the game plan coming in was to contain because of Fields and squeeze it and not fly downhill. That is the last thing you want, as we talked about already. So the draw becomes a lot harder in that situation. And because the edges are squeezing, the D tackles rarely need to fan out. The D tackles are going to stay more along the interior. But here, the D tackles seem to, they get on the outside shoulder. Oof, look at that move by the right D tackle. I guess the left guard gets him off balance. And it's great reaction here by the right D tackle. Great reaction, great awareness, and he makes the play. But still, this is just another example of what you could do with a quarterback like Fields, whose athleticism is that of a back or a receiver. Center, gets to the second level, and hey, it's a great first play yardage. It gets you to 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 5, whatever it is, and off you go. Ooh, the Justin Fields stands are going to love me today. Let me tell you, 3rd and 2. Again, Week 10, 2022, Chicago, Detroit. Let's play it through first, then we'll talk about it. 3rd and 2. Remember that. Aaron Glenn's defense. Middle close, single high. Oh! Now that is a weapon when you could have your quarterback do that on 3rd and 2. Looks pretty plain. Looks pretty vanilla, right? I mean, in a way it is. But we got to think about it a little differently here. Now, number one, Chicago, I think it's 11 personnel. Here's Kmet, tight end in an ISO. So it unbalances the defense. What does Glenn do? Does he put a linebacker or safety out here, or does he keep a corner? I'm not sure. I don't know the personnel, but that's number one. It looks like he's a nickel because it's a 3-3-5. 3 D linemen here. Linebackers. You can call it a 5-1, but it's a 3-3-5, and it might be bare front. We'll see from the other view, but they're really trying to take away the interior. 3 inside. Wide edge. Really, I like the look. I do like the look from Glenn here. He's already gotten burned by Fields a couple of times on the ground. He's anticipating something QB designed, and based on that front, that's what it tells me. Almost bare, might be bare, we'll see, with 2 wide edges and a true middle linebacker. Now, Kmet out here, I don't care if he matches or not. The key is this. I mean, I'm not going to call it too high. I'd call it middle close, solo high. And then you got a little lag, press everywhere else. Other than this, we'll call him the strong safety. Okay? Crack. Crack, crack, crack. So as soon as that crack happens, what does this edge man do? Okay, does he get down? Does he crash? Does he get down? If he crashes, someone else has to be covering for him on the edge. If he doesn't, if he's the true edge man, he's got to squeeze it. He's got to feel that crack and squeeze it and not get too far pinched inside. If you see this action coming towards you, it's pretty much a crack sweep here with the front side tackle pulling. And honestly, Detroit does a decent job as a front here. It's Fields doing his athletic thing, freakishly athletic thing that gets this first down. I'm not saying Detroit's defense was great. A lot of call outs, but it wasn't terrible. It was just more Fields recognizing the situation and getting what he had to get in the situation on a 3rd and 2. All he needs to get here is to the 35. So let's watch it. Let's go slow-mo and roll through it. All right. Jump off the edge, or jump off the snap. The edge is getting downhill. He's not crashing too hard. He's not going flat too hard. He's clearly the edge man. There aren't pressures anywhere else. Just a 5-man rush. He feels the crack, sort of, and at this point, he's not in the best spot. Crack does a good job. In the old days, you could really pop him if you're a receiver here. Can't do that. You got to be careful. You just have to get in his way because you don't want to get hit for a flag. But with that crack coming, you kind of want to get him before he gets 2-3 yards deep. The fact that he gets this deep, nearly 5 yards, really messes with the natural flow of the play. And at this point, this is not ideal. This is not ideal for a usual offense, but with Fields' athletic ability, and 71 here does a good job getting around this mess. With his athletic ability, he understands, and at this point, he knows. Usually, if you're Fields, if you're the quarterback, you're gonna play it patient, get behind this big dude, get behind this tackle, front side tackle pulling, and let him clear the way. But watch what Fields does. See ya. Why? It's 3rd and 2. That tells me something. That tells me that it's an extremely smart player with this play. Now, does he showcase these smarts on every play? Certain passing plays, 5, 7, back to the ball, play action, longer developing stuff. No, not always. He's got a lot of room to grow there. But on running plays, RPOs, zone reads, certain things like this where his running ability is a serious threat, he's incredibly smart situationally. I mean, think about it. It's messy. The blocking is messy here. And that is another funny thing. Watch the center here. Let's highlight him. Center is going to climb to the 2nd level right away, and he wants to get to the middle linebacker. But something happens where he loses his hand warmer, and that goes flying. Oh, he's not getting to middle linebacker. I'm sorry. He's getting to this strong safety. It goes flying, and he gets distracted. He's like, oh, my hand warmer. Shoot. Oh, where's my guy? He doesn't get to him, and his dude gets in on the tackle, and Fields tries to slide. He's late on the slide, so no flag. I don't think a flag came. Better not have. But blocked, not great. The front was solid. The run D was solid, not great. It's just Fields making a play. Crack sweep, slow rolling with that front side tackle on the pull because the edge going downhill. And instead of the edge, he could have done a much better job. If he reads that the sweep is coming and he feels the crack a lot quicker. Pringle on the crack, and he's got to be careful not to hit him in the back or on the side, which gets a flag these days. If you feel it right now, okay, get downhill more. Get downhill more and make Fields cut it up. Try to get downhill a little bit more, but you can't be reckless abandon, because if you're reckless abandon and you fly downhill, that's worse. Because if Fields cuts it up, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be one-on-one with the safety, 31, and just make one man miss and he's gone. So it's not a terrible job by the edge man. It's just he could have saved his D a little more time. Right? I want you to. He didn't feel the crack. That was the problem. I want you to inside shoulder into 71 and try to push it downhill. Try to push it downhill just a little bit to make Fields have to take more time and either cut it up or have to take the longer way, the much longer way around. But the crack really messed up that edge's feel on the play. And even still, it's still a mess right here. It really is. It's still a mess. Because 71 has a tough time getting around. And in a lot of situations, ball carriers will get behind the hip of the pulling guard. I'm sorry, I keep saying guard. Tackle, pulling O lineman, and wait. But hey, kudos to Fields. 3rd and 2, he understood the situation, and he got it done with his exciting legs. I mean, look, this one, there's not much to break down. It's 3rd and 1, so pivotal play. 3rd and 1, need a touchdown, 2 tights, 2 receivers, stack, gun. Let's play it through here, see what happens. And note the magic that Fields, to the flat, didn't feel it. Now it's just a scramble drill, and yeah. I mean, you could see why Fields left such a lasting impression on Aaron Glenn here. Motion from the stack, number 11, is bolting to the line to try to get Detroit to think jet, or perhaps crack, or perhaps orbit. So there's a bunch of different things here where they're trying to do. But it turns out to just be, a fake flow to the right, to the defense's left, back to a flat, back to an arrow, right to the pylon. That was written pretty poorly, right there. Now, let's see if Fields has it initially. Well, actually, post-snap, or pre-snap, reading the defense as the quarterback, not much to read here. You just want to see the front. And, it's a goal line, straight goal line look, 5-3, 3 DBs. Could be 4 DBs, but, playing linebacker. I don't know the Detroit personnel 2022. Let's see. The timing was okay. Number 13, you got to try to fend him off. You got to try to rub, but they switch as they appropriately should do, so kudos to Glenn's defense. Contact here. They're rarely going to call it. I shouldn't say rarely, but you can get away with a lot more at the goal line. And it's within 5 yards, sure, but if the ball's in the air, you're taking a huge gamble. If Fields was going to throw it, he would have had to done so very early. And if he's going to throw it, you're going to want to go low and outside. And based on the leverage here, could he have completed it? Absolutely. This DB's not jumping this route right here. Not with his momentum. Not with what he had going on. So he would have had to go real safe and very, it would have been tough to get a touchdown. So I like this decision to not throw it. Could it have been a touchdown? Yes, absolutely. And we'll see. Maybe we'll see from the other angle. Probably not because of how wide this is. But Fields does his scramble thing, Superman. And here's where the O-line has to get used to the quarterback. Stay on those blocks, don't hold. Stay on the blocks, don't hold. Look at this situation. Look at it. It would drive you mad if you're the DC. You do everything right defensively. And still you give up the touchdown. Look at this. Boom. Bad job by this guy right here. Listen, there's no set. This is schoolyard stuff, obviously, because when you're in scramble mode here, there's no rules. But if you're in this spot, you want to contain here. You want to contain and not over pursue under or over, and he over pursues under. Right there, who's that? Hutchinson? Yeah, man. Like, and I get it. He's about to get tackled, but gone. Just incredible. It's really incredible stuff. So another rushing play by Fields against Glenn, and he's pulling his eyebrows out. No more hair. He's pulling his eyebrows out at this point. And Detroit did win this game 31-30, but plays like this definitely left a lasting impression. That much is for sure. And to cap it off with the Justin Fields torching Glenn with his legs, and part 2 is going to be coming, in which Fields used his arm and his pocket savvy, so to speak, in this game, his processing, which we're going to get to in part 2. But let's run this through. Last play of the torch Glenn with his legs. Read option, split, action, zone. Woo! He's gone. He's gone. And to outrun that guy there, I mean, take the Tecmo Super Bowl angle or not, is still absurd as a quarterback. For a quarterback, it's absurd to outrun a guy there. But let's see what we have here. Read option. Again, pinch down. They're really playing inside. Why? Because of Fields' rushing ability. So you're going to put extra guys inside and replace them. That's, run defense 101. They know it's a split action with the sifter, Komet here. So the zone is probably going to go left. And the question is, read option. If you're Fields with your eyes, who's the edge man? Is it Hutchinson here? I doubt it. Based on his alignment. Head up with the tight end. Could be, but I doubt it. It's more likely going to be this DB. But and if you're this DB, you've got to stay home. But let's see if it is actually him here. We might not know for sure. All right. Zone action to the left with the sifter, and Fields is watching right now. Look at this. He's reading. This is his decision point. This is it. At the mesh. Who are you looking at? Who's the dude? Only 2. Hutchinson clearly engaged. Anzalone inside out. Who's going to be the outside in? Either him or him. 2 DBs. So, the fact that he keeps it here is amazing, but it's also telling in terms of his rushing ball carrier vision / awareness, because he knows this guy's taken care of, and it's just one-on-one again with a DB. And he's got Komet kicking out. So Detroit, look, this is definitely a miss by Detroit's day. They overplayed it. They overreacted. It's not even a naked. It's not even one-on-one, because Komet, it's going to be a kick out and a split zone action. But at this point, you don't need to do that. There's no one to kick out. So you're lead blocking, or you're just taking your man away. You have, as a DB, you have to run with him. And there he goes. So there's no way this guy was the edge. The edge definitely got caught inside, and Fields took advantage. And man, to the house he goes. Not much to break down on this one, but it's got to be included. Got to be. He rushed for, 167 yards, over 150 in this game. He's got the talent to do so and keep doing so moving forward. With the way quarterbacks are handled in today's league, you could safely do this and not worry about injury. Back in the day in 88, 87, you couldn't let Randall Cunningham loose because Lawrence Taylor would rip his head off. That's just the way the game was played, the way the rules were. That's why, you never saw triple option and zone read and jet motion in the old school NFL. In today's league, it's different. And they're still working out the infancy of this new QB evolution. You see Anzalone here I don't think he was tasked with Edge, because if he was tasked with Edge, he would have scraped and really got to the outside, but he didn't. But yeah, I think Glenn thinks more highly of Fields than a lot of people do in terms of his pocket savvy, which we're going to get into next with the next film review. But more importantly, I think Glenn is hopping on the Evolution bandwagon, the Evolution train, saying, you haven't seen anything yet.